The Children in the Well, Yaren, Turkey, 2001. Two boys exploring a known dry well in Yaren accidentally slipped 20 meters down. For hours, no one knew they were missing. They screamed for help until their voices gave out. A neighbor heard faint echoes and alerted authorities. They were rescued after 14 hours, dehydrated, shivering, but alive. Sound behaves differently in vertical shafts. Echoes can delay detection. Survival depends on conserving breath and noise discipline. Some caves hide silence. Others hide stories no one was supposed to hear. These are 4 survival and death stories you've probably never heard of, but you won't forget. This is real depth. And these are the caves that kept secrets for far too long. Wells are meant to hold water. This one held silence. In 2001, in the village of Yaren, Turkey, 2 boys were playing near an abandoned well. It was dry, shallow looking. They'd seen it before. Then, one of them leaned too far. He slipped. The other reached out and fell in too. They dropped 20 meters, landing in darkness. The shaft was too narrow to climb. No phone, no flashlight, and no one saw it happen. For hours they screamed. And then, they stopped. Not because they were gone, but because they learned yelling burned oxygen. They laid flat, curled together, and whispered to save air. After 14 hours, a farmer passing by heard something. A faint echo, like a wind, that spoke. Rescue came. Ropes lowered. Both were pulled up, dehydrated, crying alive. In vertical shafts, sound doesn't travel up easily. It spirals, bounces, and loses clarity. Yelling can delay rescue if no one is listening. They didn't escape by screaming louder. They survived by going quiet. The Diver's Reversal, Yuri Lipski, 2000. Yuri dove into Blue Hole, Daha, a dive site nicknamed Diver's Cemetery. His camera captured the entire descent and death. He passed the arch, descended too far, and suffered nitrogen narcosis, a deep water hallucination. He took off his mask and never surfaced. Nitrogen narcosis alters perception and can cause self-destructive behavior. Divers must recognize signs before it's too late. Dan called it the Diver's Cemetery. He called it a challenge. April 2000. Yuri Lipski, an experienced technical diver from Russia, descended into the Blue Hole of Dahab, Egypt. His goal to dive past the arch at 56 meters and beyond. He brought a head-mounted camera to document the descent. What it captured wasn't success. It was the moment a mind breaks under pressure. At 90 meters, Yuri began to lose control. His breathing accelerated. He dropped faster than planned. At 115 meters, he smiled. Then he removed his regulator. Never surfaced again. Divers recovered the camera. The footage was intact. It showed the descent, the confusion. At the exact moment he lost the fight against the ocean. At extreme depths, nitrogen narcosis causes euphoria, confusion, hallucinations, like being drunk with no surface. He didn't run out of air. He ran out of clarity. The ocean didn't take him. For his mind, let go first. The Maze Trap, Mossdale Caverns, 1967. 6 young cave explorers entered Mossdale Caverns, UK, during a storm forecast. Rising water caught them inside one of the tightest cave systems in Britain. Rescuers couldn't reach them in time. All 6 drowned. Even shallow caves can become lethal traps during storms. Modern caving protocols now prohibit entry during flood risk. Mossdale isn't just a cave. It's a labyrinth, narrow, wet, and built for no one. June 24th, 1967. A group of 6 young cave explorers entered Mossdale Caverns, North Yorkshire. Their ages, between 20 and 26. The forecast warned of rain, but they went in anyway. 3 hours later, the storm began, and the cave began to fill. Water rushed in from above. This turned into tunnels of pressure. The exit points vanished under current. The 6 cavers were trapped, hundreds of meters from the entrance, in one of the tightest known cave systems in Britain. The May never made it out. Rescuers found their equipment. In silence. The bodies weren't recovered. They were sealed by the cave itself. Mossdale Caverns are infamous for rapid flooding and no natural drainage. Even 5 m of rainfall can cause fatal water. I didn't get lost. They ran out of time. In caves like Mossdale, that's all it takes? The Fall of Father and Son. Riesending Cave, Germany, 2014. Speleologist Johann Westhauser suffered a severe head injury 1,000 meters deep. His son, above ground, coordinated part of the rescue. It became one of the most complex cave rescues in Europe, involving over 700 people and lasting 11 days. Deep cave rescues require pre-established logistics, standby medics, and access points built ahead of time. You don't fall into Riesending. You descend into it knowingly. June 8th, 2014. Johann Westhauser, one of Germany's most experienced cave physicists, leads a research expedition into Riesending Cave, the deepest in the country. 1,000 meters down, something goes wrong. He slips, hits his head hard. He's bleeding inside the skull, a traumatic brain injury. He's barely conscious. And the only way out is up. Through 12 kilometers of vertical shafts, crawl spaces, and wet tunnels. He's dying. But up above, his son hears the news and doesn't wait. The rescue mission begins. Not just local, but international. Over 700 people from Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy work around the clock. They create a mobile field hospital inside the cave. Every meter of progress takes hours. Either 11 days, they bring Johann to the surface, alive. Deep cave rescues require more than strength. They need logistics, trauma medicine, backup lighting grids, nutrition systems, and time. He didn't survive because he crawled. He survived because hundreds of strangers and one son never stopped climbing toward him. Some people enter caves to find something. Some never expected what they'd lose. Subscribe to Real Depth, because we don't just tell stories, we explain why they matter.